This is that awkward part where my computer doesn't tell me when we're really starting or not. So it says I'm live, but it doesn't give me a
Yeah.
number count. So
I got the
until
number
it
count.
does,
There we go.
okay, beautiful. All right, what is up, everybody? Hey, we're here. I think so. If we are, what's
Maybe
going on? Yes, maybe. I still don't
some
have
tech issues this morning, getting a little bit of a late start compared to the
yeah,
normal, but we're
yeah.
here. We're
Apologies for
live.
that. I'm still
And
not
there was a new
getting.
feature I noticed when we logged into the studio this morning. There was a brand new feature
Yeah,
that wasn't there before that allows us to put titles underneath our names.
I know. I like that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have fun with that.
So,
Okay, now it says
that's going to change.
we're live. Beautiful. So see,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. It always fucks with me. So hey everybody. How y'all doing?
Yeah, so we're gonna be playing around with those titles as the weeks go on. But I did notice that you can't. You have to log out of this. You have to like completely leave the studio and then log back
Yes,
in
because
order to change it.
I saw your thing before. Yeah. Nice.
Yes, I had
Nice
something different on
title
there
there.
before, and I logged out and changed it.
See, I had a
So
long one, but I didn't want to blur out all this beauty up here. So
oh
I
yeah.
had to.
So
Yeah.
you know what I wish you could do? I wish it would allow me to change yours and you to change mine.
I
That way
agree.
we can
Yeah.
fuck with each other in the middle of the
Yeah.
show.
Sweet,
I
we
could
made
say
it
that.
past 30 seconds without
I
a
know. I
curse
was gonna
word.
say that. I was just about to say
Boom! No
that.
bleeping. There you go,
All
YouTube.
right.
But what's up,
There we
everybody?
go.
Welcome, episode 208. Of course, we are live on YouTube. And actually, today, I surprised Scott with this. I'm doing a little trial run. We're live on Twitter, too. So, what's up?
Sweet.
Yes. So, what's up,
I'm
Twitter?
sorry. Wait. We're live on what?
Oh, yeah, X. Whatever the
We're
hell
live
it's
on
called.
X.
Yeah, Twitter. Twitter. I'm still twatting. So, I mean, it's Twitter to me. But yeah, so we are on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it today as well. But as we do, we stream every single show live, and what we want you folks watching. And if you're watching recorded, you can't really do this. But if you're watching live, which we stream every episode live, uncut, we have some bonus segments. Ask some questions. Anything that you want to hear us talk about in the hobby, let us know. Comment on everything that we're talking about. We'll get to them on the breaks of the show, so in the middle and at the end. So we're not ignoring you. Now, there are some comments we may pull up, every now and then and discuss as they pertain heavily to what we're talking about. But for the most part, it'll be during the breaks and then at the end. But
Yep.
thank you all for tuning in live. And like I said, every episode have some bonus coverage and everything like that before, in the middle, and after the show as well.
And quick shout out to my boy Elon.
Yeah, what up, Elon? Sorry for still calling it Twitter, but it's your fault for naming it something stupid. All right, so episode 208. You about ready to dive on into it?
Yeah. Before we get to that, though, I kind of want to think about that. So if Twitter is now X,
Mm-hmm.
is there going to be like a porn version social media called Triple X?
Of course there is. Of course there is.
All right. Just
There's
throwing that
gonna
out
there's
there.
gonna be soon. He opened the door to so much crap when he named it X.
Oh, I know.
But
Is
apparently it's
Dos
not going to be.
is Dos
Apparently it's
Equis?
only going to be like partially Twitter. There's going to be a lot more eventually. Who the hell knows with that dude?
Well, is Dos Equis going to launch their own platform?
I would. Or
Yeah.
that at least partner with Twitter. Stop giving people good ideas. We can charge
I'm
them.
sorry, man. This is the shit that kept me out of the really good schools.
Yeah, I know. It's exactly what kept you out of the really good schools. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in live. We'll stop boring you now. Would you like to dive into the show?
Let's dive into the show.
All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 208 of Let Me Get That Potograph. As always, my name is Drew, or the DH, and joining me, my awesome co-host, Mr. Scott Rappaport. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Drew? All right, so we got a jam-packed show for you today.
We do.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm holding in a little bit of laughter because of some stuff that was going on earlier when on the YouTube portion of the show.
Yeah.
So check out the YouTube portion of the show. First 5 minutes or so,
Exactly.
you'll understand what's going on with that. Dude, we got a jam-packed show for you today, and you know what the best part about today's episode is?
What is that?
it wrote itself.
It did. We did not have to even think about anything.
We didn't have to do shit.
And it almost went in order too. But yeah, we didn't have to do shit.
I know it was crazy. It's like the two guys from Spaceballs when they're combing the beach. You know, we ain't found shit. That's this we didn't write shit.
Nothing.
So this everything crazy that has gone on in the industry this week, it all kind of fell into place and wrote itself. Yeah. We didn't have to scrape topics. We didn't have to come up with anything. We didn't have to think about anything.
Hell no. Hell no, we didn't.
So how was your week?
Oh, the week was good, man. Very busy. Went to the Raleigh show. I'll tell you, the Raleigh show was awesome. There was a lot of really bad weather that held some people away on Sunday, but I thought the show was great. For a December show, when you've got a show pretty much in the, at Christmas time, you can't expect top-notch, massive crowds and everything like that. But it was set up inside of a basketball stadium, which was awesome.
That's kind of cool.
So like you had the bleachers and everything surrounding the actual court, and the court and everything was the show floor. It made for a really neat layout. The dealers and everything were very fair, very well priced. I made a ton of deals, spent a lot of money. But it was an incredible show. But also had an interesting interaction with Mr. Nat Turner over on Twitter. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Now, wait, hold on. Interesting in a good way or interesting in a bad way?
Interesting in the fact that in a good and in a partially good, partially bad way. Yeah. Not in a bad
Elaborate.
way. But, elaborate. So I made a video on this Haley Deegan autograph. You guys can check it out on our socials, where it came back as an N7 in our portal, which PSA, when they don't hold their stuff, they have different designations that they put for why it's not in there. Whether it be fake, trimmed, everything, they have a reason, and it starts with an N. So this came back in N7. So, which basically they don't give you any reason as to what an N7 is. So I made a video asking why they wouldn't do it, because what it was a recollection autograph, which is where it's like archives or honors. They buy the card back.
It's a stamped buyback autograph.
Yes, it's a stamped buyback autograph. So honors, everything like that gets slabbed normal. You can send it in, and apparently, it gets slabbed. No problem whatsoever. We sent this in. It came back N7. So I made a video, and Nat commented. Because obviously he knows I've worked with Gem Mint, Wax Pack, and he knows who we are, and he listens to the show every now and then. What's up, Nat, if you are? But he came back and said, no, it was an N9, and that it was submitted as card grade only, and that's why it wasn't graded. And I have a problem with that, because
it's a buyback. It's a buyback auto. They should
exactly.
grade that.
So what he's saying, for those that aren't are a little confused here, is he's saying that it has to go through the autograph authentication process, as well as the card grading process, which adds fees to how much it costs to get graded, and it takes a lot longer. And so he's saying that for the recollection autos for NASCAR, but yet honors, archives, all this other stuff gets
you don't have to do that,
like nothing. And so it's very odd to me. So it was great that he never responded as to why honors, archives, and all that would automatically be slabbed. But these recollections in particular, other recollection collections, no problem. These, for some reason, they're not doing, and he won't answer that. And so that's why I said kind of good, kind of bad. But it was nice.
Yeah, okay, no, I get that. All right. Hey, Nat, give us an answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin, you're a regular listener to the show.
Yeah,
give us an answer.
Yeah.
I think
because if I'm asking someone from literally that works with PSA, then the number one PSA dealer in the world, you don't think I've asked like Jared and other people? Like, no one knows. And so I'd like to know why these cards in particular aren't. And I got an answer, even though in the portal it says N7, he says it was N9, whatever. If it was a mistake, why aren't these being put in slabs? And why do these need to go through DNA? Are there suspect ones? or what's the deal? And so that's what I want to know. But so interesting interaction, but at least he responded to the video.
And Nat's really good about that. I
He is.
mean, he
He is.
does tend to respond to a lot that goes on social media, good,
Yeah.
bad, otherwise. He's out there. He's approachable.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it just would have been nice to have an answer.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted the answer as to, because for me, I deal with hundreds of thousands of customers a year at all these shows. I would like to be able to tell them the correct information. Like this was for a customer. This was not mine. And so he gets this card back. I have no clue why. And, he's sitting there showing me screenshots of other stuff that's slab. So, of course, I want to know why. Like,
and when you're taking in orders,
inform my customers with the right information.
Yeah, when somebody walks up to you at the booth at a show, and says, "I want to submit this," and you look at the card, you need to be able to say, "Okay, this card needs to be submitted at this service level.
This has to go through auth. This has to go through DNA. This doesn't. This is why." And that's all. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, that's it. You just want to be able to better serve your customers.
Exactly.
I totally get that.
And most people wouldn't even go through the trouble, but I'm actually trying to do that and, can't get an answer. So hopefully we will. But that's been my week. What about you, man? Doing good?
Yeah, doing all right. Got the final indoor game of the season Friday night.
Good. Hanukkah going well?
Hanukkah is going well. Got some solid gifts of socks and slacks.
That's
the
about
traditional
what I'm
Hanukkah gift.
So
Hanukkah Harry has visited my house on multiple occasions.
Beautiful.
And it's funny because like my wife's not Jewish, my kids are not being raised Jewish, so I always refer to myself as Jewish.
Jewish,
yeah. But unfortunately, my mother asked my daughter what I wanted for Hanukkah, and I told my daughter to respond to my mother's text message, telling her that I wanted a half kilo of Colombia's finest.
There you go.
And of course, my 15-year-old daughter, who has been corrupted to all get out, actually sent that message.
Beautiful, of course. Well, I don't have a menorah, but I do have a candle to light for you. So there you go, my friend.
Nice. That's is that Minecraft?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So anyway, did I get my half kilo of Colombia's finest?
No. Or the show would be a lot different right now.
The show would absolutely be a lot different if that were the case.
All right. So we got a jam-packed show, man. Let's dive into it.
All right. So we are going to start off with Scandal.
Yes, of course.
Because we love Scandal. All right. Yeah. So you remember when PWCC got bought out by Fanatics and they had all that trouble because they loaned a bunch of money against cards and the values went down.
There's that video of the guy talking about buying the card where he's literally like, I'm just getting PWCC to loan me the money. I'm not buying it.
Yep, exactly. All right. So we have not exactly the same, but something along those lines that has now led to a lawsuit.
Yes. Lawsuit by the company and not by a person, which is very different in this industry.
Correct. All right. So I am going to read this. This was a breaking news piece that came out. The Collectibles Guru.
Amazing Twitter handle. Amazing guy on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this.
X.
And we are going to then discuss. So again, from the Collectibles Guru, this was not our reporting.
Right.
So online marketplace Alt has filed a lawsuit against one of their customers. Customer's name is Joseph Barucci, and he sold his one-of-one Cade Cunningham Black Prism rookie card with Alt. In August 2022, Alt provided Barucci with $213,300 cash advance for the Cade.
Fucking ridiculous.
It's kind of a weird number. Why not make it 213 even?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Anyway, so back to
it got to be something to do with the fees or the way things come out. So it came out to 213 even on their end.
Could be. All right. Well, anyway, back to the post here.
Yes.
While the card was at auction, Alt claims that Barucci worked with another individual to carry out an illegal and fraudulent shill bidding scheme to attempt to drive up the price of the auction. The card ultimately sold for $167,556. But after Alt discovered the shill bidding, they canceled the auction sale and demanded Barucci's $213,000 cash advance back. Barucci has allegedly failed to pay back any of the advance, and now Alt has come to collect. Interestingly, The alleged $167,000 sale of this card in October of 2022 never actually happened, and the card is seemingly still in Alt's possession.
Yep.
The $213,000 cash advance for this card is wild, but props to Alt for catching the shill bidding and avoiding the auction. Full details on the page. Go check out Paul Lesko's account, where he gives a much more in-depth legal analysis. So Paul Lesko, another fabulous reporter, does some amazing work.
Incredible.
All right.
And a great new book, by the way. He's also an author. Amazing book. But anyway.
I have not seen that yet, but I will have to check that out.
So it's not sports related, but it's incredible.
Yeah. All right. So much to unpack here.
I know.
Did nobody learn lessons about advanced money on
well, I think this. Well, wait. Did it say? Apologies, but does it say the exact date that this was loaned?
So hang on, I cleared that out. In August of 2022.
Okay, so that's
the cash.
So that's the same time that PWCC and those people were giving out loans. So. And that was before
PWCC. I think that was a little bit after the fact, wasn't it?
But it was before PWCC had gotten, into made public of all this. They had given out the loans before then, but they were still giving them out, and it was before it was major public knowledge.
Okay.
And so I could see how a lot of these companies were doing that. Alt was far from just the only company.
No, absolutely not.
I think that's just the time frame and what was going on with that high end market. People kept talking, and I wasn't going to get into it on social media, but I just used to laugh when I'd see these posts asking who's buying these cards? How are they affording this? And I'm like, they're not buying them. I'm like, half of these aren't being bought. If they're vaulted, 99% of those weren't being bought. They were sent out with a lot, not 99%, but a good 60%. And they loaned out tens of millions of dollars to do this because it normally financially benefits them. But in terms of learning, I just don't think it was out there that this type of stuff was going to happen. Now, I'm under the impression of what the hell, you didn't expect this was going to happen. That's my thought on this. You didn't think this shit was going to happen in a boardroom meeting. Y'all didn't think, oh yeah, people aren't going to pay this crap back if stuff tanks 75%. Did y'all really sit in a room and say, oh, it's never going to drop. It's just going to go on a continuous steady incline and we're going to make billions off of this? No one had the wear and thought to just think some of these people might actually be douchebags. That's where I don't.
And that's the thing. That's the problem with loaning on collateral, where the collateral itself is such a volatile asset.
Especially when you're holding the asset. So even though, yes, you have the asset, the reason they're not paying is because it's tanked. So you've already lost a shitload there.
No, exactly. So, but my question is more along the lines of why loan? Granted, that was after the height of the market. The market was already on the downturn at that point. Why loan that kind of money? In an advance on that particular card, because at that time, the high end basketball and the logo man, that type of stuff was exactly what was not falling at the time. Everything was, but basketball really was. And that high end market, the logo men, all that stuff, the National Treasures, RPAs, that stuff, that was kind of the last domino to really start to drop. So those were still very highly coveted at the time. I agree with you that the amount of money is absurdly stupid. Yeah. Give an advance.
That's the market.
Maybe make the advance $50,000.
Right.
Knowing that you're probably going to wind up selling, it's probably going to wind up going for $100. But based on the sales that that some of the football black prisms had gone for at that point. The Mac Jones is a great example.
Excuse me, this was the black prism,
Yeah, this is the black prism, but the Mac Jones black prism initially sold for $100,000, and then
That kid's a legend, by the way.
Oh yeah, but then it's sold again for 187,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's probably worth like $50. But knowing that sold for 187,
Yeah.
Why are you loaning out over 200
Right.
when there's a chance that it's not coming back, and you have the
Well,
market.
I have a feeling the customer, Joseph Barucci, probably did a lot more business with them. And I don't see them loaning out that type of money unless they're comfortable with it. So I think they were just comfortable with him as a customer.
Okay, and that makes a little bit more sense. All right, so now we got the second issue. We got everybody's favorite thing to talk about: shill bidding.
Yes.
And he partnered with another guy to shill bid the auction only up to 167,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not at least bring it up to the what the advance money was?
Oh, I know. I know.
But aside from that,
well,
props to Alt.
No. To answer that first question, because if they had put it up to right to the 213, then Alt immediately would have known.
No, you just do it gradually.
Yeah, but
not immediately, but anyway, props to Alt for figuring that part out.
Yeah.
Canceling the auction, and props to Alt for going after him.
Yeah.
And filing the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Obviously Alt uses their own platform. They don't use eBay.
No.
A boatload of shill bidding goes on eBay on a daily basis, but hopefully this will prompt eBay to start going after and closing accounts of shill bidders.
Well, they're slowly doing that. I love the new feature. I hate that buyers can turn it off, but the feature to where even on auctions it's auto pay, so you're at least auto charged. Granted, scammers are going to figure out a way to do chargebacks and all this other stuff to get around that eventually anyway. But at least they do make you auto pay. But I guess if you're shill bidding, you're just going to be auto paying yourself in a way.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that is that, if you're bidding on multiple items from the
I agree.
It doesn't allow for combined shipping.
But I'm saying that does stop a lot. That does stop a lot of people and will deter a lot of at least the novice and not people that are doing this as a profession like hardcore. It will stop them from doing it because they're just not smart enough to figure out those sneaky loopholes that the others are. But yeah, I hope it does. But yeah, props to Alt for once. We're giving props to Alt as they've had their fair share of controversies themselves. But really good job right here of catching something pretty big. And I just go back to no one in these boardrooms had any idea this shit was going to happen. Like nobody thought like this.
I don't think they would have anticipated the shill bidding, because Alt, just like Golden and Heritage and because especially on the high end things, they do tend to vet their bidders. Quite a bit.
That's true.
So I don't think they anticipated the shill bidding happening. They may have anticipated the fact that it would sell lower than what they gave the advance on.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think they would have said, hey, somebody's going to shill bid this up, and we're going to wind up in this mess.
We'll see what happens, and hopefully what I hope out of all this is just that ultimately the Cade 101 ends up in the hands of a true collector on a real sale. We can get it away from these people that are shill bidding and all this, and we can get this card out on the open market and see what it's truly worth, because he's an awesome basketball player. It's one of his biggest and best cards, and I'd like to see it out on the market in a true market and see what it actually goes for. But incredible stuff going on, crazy stuff. And for once, a company actually suing a person as opposed to somebody else suing a company or a company suing a company.
No, exactly. So, all right, moving on.
Yes.
To the next piece. This was fun. So obviously we all know Bowman Draft came out this week.
What?
What? Oh yeah, Bowman what? I'm sorry.
What is this thing you speak of?
Yeah. All right. So we all know that there were pictures that were popped out a couple of months back of the Tom Brady autos that were going to be in there, of the the legendary first Bowman, and we knew that number 12 of 50 and number 12 of 25 were both inscribed.
Yeah.
And I think the 12 of 50 was definitely the better inscription.
Easily, but they did
Yep.
that on purpose because gold's more collected.
Well, I don't know about that versus
I do.
orange.
It
Well, I
doesn't
mean, that
matter.
could just be because there's more of them. But hey, we can argue that point later. Somebody last week put out a nice size bounty
Yeah.
on the gold number 12 of 25 that is inscribed with, and I don't have it in front of me. I mean,
If
it's something like
if
if
football doesn't
football or
work
if
out, there's
baseball
always
doesn't work out,
baseball.
yeah, if baseball doesn't work out, there's always football.
Yeah.
So $500,000 bounty immediately placed on that card. People going nuts looking for the stuff. The
Insane.
Superfractor auto has already been pulled.
Yeah, which I want to touch on in a minute.
And autos, there haven't been many sales, but there's a gold auto that, as of right now, had like 15-hour. Hang on, where is it? I'm just pulling it up right here. There is a 1 day and 4 hours left, and is at $15,400.
That hasn't even begun to move either.
Yeah,
that hasn't begun to move.
Yeah, and it's a reputable seller. So, and then you've got the non-autos, which are selling for crazy money.
Well, they're very, very tough. I believe it was something like 1 in 6 cases or something like that.
Somewhere along those lines, yeah. But the blue, there was a blue yesterday that sold for $2,300. There was a aqua to $199 that sold for $1,500.
Brilliant.
A refractor non-numbered went for $890. I mean, these are solid prices.
Yeah.
And then you have all of the other prospects that
yeah, I know exactly.
Typically drive the product. So
yeah,
this has been absolutely insane.
Yes.
The chase for this, and I'm curious. Oh, by the way, the bounty, when we said was really, really nice, never actually gave the dollar amount with that. It's a $500,000 bounty.
$500,000 bounty on that card.
Which now we don't know who it is that put the bounty out there.
No, it is an unknown bounty. Well,
Well, we know the person who put the bounty out, but they put it on behalf of somebody else.
Yes.
And I'm really curious as to who that is.
I have a very good idea, but I'm not gonna say it on the show. But I'll talk off air with you.
Well, let me ask you one question, and you don't have to say who it is. Is it an athlete?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if it was, one of the athletes getting into cards that decided that, hey, I'm going to throw some money at this. So
no.
Okay.
But there's a reason behind it. All right. And if they found it, then you'll see why. But yeah, so 500K bounty, massive on that card. I'm going to be really interested to see, because that's really helped set the market for a lot of these other prices, which is like that all these other cards are going to go for, even outside of that bounty. And I'm curious to see if the super goes for more than that. Honestly, if the super is up on a just straight up random auction and not a private sale, does it actually hit 500K without the inscription and all that? What does the orange inscription do? I'm curious to see that. I think it's interesting, but brilliant.
I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been a bounty put on the orange inscription as well.
I'm surprised there hasn't either, but I would not be shocked if it didn't come out soon. But they also may be waiting to see if it gets pulled, just for the simple fact of making a strong offer and being able to offer a lot less than your bounty would be. Like as soon as it's pulled, you can reach out to the person and hit them up.
Well, but and that's the thing about the bounty, though, is, look, let's be honest. Even with the inscription, it's not a $500,000 card. No. I had anticipated, prior to this, maybe if somebody were to put it out at auction, it would go for 150 thousand, not dollars. So
yeah.
No, I know, but there's always some guy out there who's gonna be like, oh, you thought it was gonna go for $100? No. So 500,000 is a little out
Oh,
there.
yeah, no, I agree. Now, a lot of people are saying, and I thought this was hilarious, a lot of people are saying that, because it was pulled on technically day 3 of release, since there was pre-release for 2 days for
The
Fanatics Live
superfractor.
and stuff.
The superfractor.
Yeah, the Superfractor. But technically day 1 for like public Bowman opening, that prices were going to tank and all this stuff. Go look at the sales. Prices aren't tanking because that freaking card got pulled. Guys, this is one card out of you've still got the bounty, a 500K bounty on the
but
card.
that's the thing. The Superfractor Auto, as much of a chase card as that is, because that bounty on gold 12 of 50,
yeah, the super
is
isn't
out there.
The chase.
That is the chase card.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Superfractor.
think the super hits 500K. So that's what I'm saying. The chase card is still in there. You've still got the non-auto super. You've still got all of those things called prospects, which, oh yeah, that's what this entire product is based off of.
Yep.
I mean, there is so much out there in this product to chase. This was just an added way to really pump up this product. And I'll tell you something else it's done, which is really interesting, is it's put a focus back on Brady's market in general. If you look at the recent sales, of his base, general rookies, graded highly, and lower end autos, contenders autos, things like that, you look at those sales, they're actually moving up again. So this hype of him in Bowman, this stuff in this marketing campaign that Ruben's doing through social media, very, very covertly and smartly with Tom Brady, which, make no mistake about it, he is doing. It just looks like social media posts to you. It's having a big effect on his market. Now, I have one major problem with this that I want to ask you about, and it kind of segues into another topic that we can dive into on another show as well, but it's very important here. Okay, so Triple Diamond Breaks, I believe, is who pulled this. I apologize if I got y'all's name wrong, but they pulled this box out of a Breakers box. So the Tom Brady Super Auto is in a Breakers box, which means it was not in any of the boxes that are not
Breakers box, or was it an HTA?
One of the two.
Because I don't know, did they do Breakers boxes for this? Because I know they put out Jumbo, Super Jumbo, and this time they did an HTA product, which is the 3 autographs in a box.
Okay, it may have been the HTA. I'm not sure. Okay, if they did,
because that is not that is not Breaker exclusive.
I was told they did Breakers boxes, but I could be wrong. If they didn't, then never mind. I'm going to move past what I was about to go into, and we'll discuss Breakers boxes another day. So maybe it was HTA and someone assumed that meant it was Breakers boxes.
That's a very good possibility.
And so I'll look into it, and we'll actually go in on that angle on a future episode, because it dives into a lot more stuff that I wanted to touch on. But yeah, so in addition to this Brady auto, so you've got all these. Topps did a brilliant move in my opinion. Absolutely brilliant to tie this together and to generate the amount of money that they just generated off of running a couple printing things is astronomical. But they were able to tie in the man himself, Bill freaking Belichick, to all of this. Technically not in Bowman draft, but putting out a special Bill Belichick card with 41 signed copies, and
41 signed copies.
You buy the base version, and 41 random people that get it will get the auto, and it's a Topps Now card. I thought that was brilliant.
And it's inscribed, Tom can hit, but can he throw?
Yes.
I mean, like, seriously.
I know.
Yeah.
They're great with these. They're great with these inscriptions.
And they have Belichick dressed as an Expos manager.
Yep. I love it.
Which is even better.
And look, I am a diehard Patriot fan. They beat my Panthers in the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. Fuck you, John Casey. Learn how to kick a freaking kickoff in bounds. But I hate the Patriots. I've always hated them, but this is incredible, and this pairing of this stuff is going to go together, in my opinion, as one of the more iconic subset little releases or cards, if you will, or
Yeah.
card sets in a long time. Like this is huge, and the adding of Belichick was brilliant, and to not leak that, to not have that leaked at all, to not even tease it or anything, but to just drop it was awesome. Now, I wonder if it was when all these rumors of Belichick retiring or being kicked out in New
Yeah.
England, they were like, "Hey, Bill, you want to sign some cards real quick?" And he's like, fuck it, why not?" Because it just doesn't sound like a thing that he would do.
No.
Like, it's football season. He's locked in. Apparently, he ain't as locked in because he's signing again for the first time since what? The third setback?
Unless they had this whole thing planned from the beginning and they had him sign it before training camp started, and they just kept it quiet.
That's true. I have not looked as to how long. You could tell by finding out how long it's going to take to get those Tops Now cards if they're already, because there's a chance they may not be signed yet. Because if you look at the mock-up, a throw is misspelled.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Well, but that could be just Belichick not knowing how to spell.
That's true. If so, it's pretty cool. But you can look. I'll look on Top's website as we continue, and I'll find out how long it takes to get those cards. That'll tell you if they've already got them signed or not immediately.
Yeah, and that's because if they say the standard, 3 to 6 weeks, which I think is their standard for Tops Now,
then he's got them signed.
Then they have them and they have them already.
Yes. And it's the Turn Back the Clock Tops. It's the Turn Back the Clock series. Very, very cool card. Tom can hit, but can he throw?
Yep.
Oh, wait. They realized it was misspelled and they added in an R. Okay, so that's definitely a mock-up because it was misspelled yesterday.
All right, there we go. So, a lot of stuff going around with Bowman Draft.
Yeah.
Go rip the products. Hopefully somebody we know pulls that 12 out of 50 gold, and can cash in. Because I'll tell you right now, if I hit that card, I am 100% taking that bounty. You'd be really stupid not to, because you could probably wind up going and taking 20 grand out of that, or 25 grand out of that 500,000, and buying another gold that's not inscribed.
Yeah. Now,
and calling it a day.
Now, I've got a question before we wrap this up, and we normally don't take viewer questions on the air, but I think this is a very, very good question and something that we didn't discuss, so I want to address it real quick. From Dact Mac Fan, thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube Live. Remember, we stream every episode of the show live with bonus footage, so make sure to check it out. But he asked why they chose to do Brady in Bowman Draft, as like we said before, draft is heavy on prospects. And he was basically asking, could it have been used better to elevate another product? Now,
okay, so I've got a very short 2-word answer that will
mine's short
answer this as well, and that answer is Bowman first.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, no, they did it with Bowman because if it was done with something like a Bowman's Best or anything like that, it would not carry anywhere near the amount of hype or value that it does that goes along with that Bowman brand. Like Best is, obviously Best is under the Bowman brand, but let's be honest, it's very far down the line, maybe 5th or 6th in the Bowman category.
You have to do a card like this. You have to do it in one of the 3 Bowman Bowman products, either Bowman Chrome, or Bowman Draft.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You're not going to do something like that in Bowman's Best or in
and
Sterling.
You can't go into Tops because he never did MLB stuff. So it has to be in the Bowman brand. It can't be in Dynasty or Transcendent or something. It's got to be in the minor type of stuff. You don't want to put it in Pro Debut, so it's got to be under the Bowman name. you got to go with one of the bigger Bowman products. Now, I do agree.
Well, you couldn't
it
put
was
it. You
not
couldn't put it
needed.
in pro debut anyway because he never actually played.
Right,
For the
played,
Expos.
yes.
He
Yeah,
never played a minor league
that's
game. He was
true.
never part of their system. He was just drafted.
That's my point. And so, while I do agree it was definitely not needed because prospects
Yeah.
alone can absolutely make these products incredibly valuable. But what they did do is made 2023 Bowman Draft. Any box that's on those shelves 5-10 years from now is unless all of them are known to be done, unless all of them are known that to have been pulled, those boxes are going to carry massive, massive amounts of money. Even with just the possibility of the non-autos, they're going to go for huge money all the way down the line. They're not going to drop like others when those prospects stuff dries up. So that I think they made the absolute right decision to go with Bowman Draft. I think that's a product you had to do it in.
Oh no, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And that's all I got on it.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, we need money because like I've been spending a lot on my kids for Christmas. So for those of you listening on the podcast, we'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. For those on YouTube, get a little bonus footage, but we'll be right back.
All right. So we have a new sponsorship announcement this week.
Really?
Yeah, we're bringing on Red Rocket Grading as a sponsor.
All right, mother.
So, dude, I should have. You know what? I couldn't wait till April 1st.
Have you guys seen has anyone watching seen what I've got coming up with Red Rocket, guys? If you don't know, I have literally conned these guys into doing a live special with us, giving us a detailed breakdown of their operations,
I wouldn't say
of the
conned.
job, everything. Do what?
I wouldn't say conned.
Well, yeah, I didn't con them. I just asked them to, but they think it's real. They think it's like it is real. I mean,
look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they are indeed a real company,
yeah,
then it's real.
Yes.
Yes. Real publicity, it's real promotion.
Yes.
If it is a troll job,
yeah, then we get to expose it and we get to be part of it. But either way, this video is going to be iconic. I'm setting it up. We're going to have a background. We're going to set it up like a weekend update display. So we're going to have a Saturday Night Live weekend update type of look. It's going to be a very special. I'm putting some effort in on this one because once they talked about wanting to get on a podcast, it was easy for them to agree to come onto this one. So for those of you on YouTube watching, as we are on our break here, so feel free to ask any questions or anything that you would like. Yeah, Red Rocket, we're gonna get some exposure for him there because we're taking him to the moon, baby, right to the moon.
Damn it, I'm gonna need to go get a green screen background for this one, aren't I?
Possibly. And I will tell you, I saw a photo that they had like 7 or 8 cards that they said they picked up, all of these like 10th year parallels of like Pat Mahomes from like Donruss Elite. So they still are the fastest growing grading company in the world because I know last week they only had 1 or 2. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean they're 300%, growth over a week is impressive. And that's
100%. I mean, that's
I'm blown away.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason. I mean that's the reason that you got to do it on like they do crime stats on a per capita basis.
A couple of things real quick, guys. Seriously, Daniel Rodriguez. Earlier, you asked about Russell Wilson and everything. They've actually done Russell Wilson in before. They've had Russell Wilson cards a couple of years ago.
They had him 2010 Bowman draft, I think.
But then they also did another like short print parallel a couple of years ago.
They may have, but he actually had a legit first Bowman.
Yeah,
because he was in the Colorado Rockies minor system before saying, "Fuck it, I'm going to go play football and go into college."
Yeah, they did do some other Russell Wilson stuff as a short print a little while ago. An update here, which is interesting, and I did see this. Belichick card ships 25, 35 days after expiration date. Expiration date was yesterday. I'm looking on the Topps website. It does say now there, read okay, no, they've said that this is has a okay. They've changed the wording that they had yesterday. So yes, the autographs, it does look like
They've got
are
them in
going to
hand.
all be in there. And they do have the autographs all have multiple different inscriptions, it looks like. There's going to be an out of 25, an out of 10, an out of 5, and an out of 1. So it looks like that's only one of the inscriptions. I doubt he did all of them the same. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Maybe I want one of them. I just want one of them to say Tom Brady made my career.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if it weren't for Brady, and we're seeing that after Brady left.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Brady.
Yeah.
Belichick would not most likely be a head coach in the NFL.
Matt H dropping in. I have not heard anything about this, but this is awesome if true. There's Savage cut autos coming. If so, that's killer.
In what?
It's got to be some type of WWE product. Assuming.
I mean, I figured that, but
I don't know. But I have not heard anything about
no,
cut autos.
No. Wait. It may not be. Don't forget, Randy Savage was also drafted to play Major League Baseball.
He was.
Yes. Him and his brother.
Yep, they both. Yeah, okay. So he's saying maybe in Bowman draft. Now that would be brilliant, especially with how hot the wrestling market is.
That is
the wrestling market going on 9 months, 9 straight months of positive overall, like positive trend going upward for wrestling.
That would be insane if that's
that would
the
be
case.
Brilliant.
And thank you, Daniel. The Reds. Randy Savage was with the Reds.
Yes, that would be awesome.
That would be
absolutely incredible to watch.
Awesome. So, all right. And speaking of things that used to be red, when we come back, we're going to talk about something that used to be red and is now blue. So we're going to go ahead and bring back the podcast, folks.
All right, so I'll let you bring us back in.
All right. And we're back. Thank you for putting up with some of the advertising, putting a little money in our pockets so we can bring you this
touch or whatever you had to listen to. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bring into this fine content. Yeah. If you don't want to put up with that, check us out on YouTube because we had a whole amazing conversation continuing on the Bowman draft stuff.
Yes.
And we also talked a little bit of wrestling and how it ties into Bowman draft. And if you want to hear what we said, we're not going to tell you.
Nope.
Go to YouTube, check out the video.
Yes. And subscribe, hit that bell, and all that other stuff that every single content creator tells you.
Yeah, that was a given, but all right. So
it's a rule.
So huge baseball news.
Huge.
Yep. Of course, we are talking about Cody Bellinger. No. We are, however, talking about Cody Bellinger's former team.
We are.
And of course, we're talking about Shohei Ohtani.
Good. And can we take one moment real quick and have like a second of silence for Blue Jays fans? My God. I feel so bad for you guys. You guys got trolled so hard. I know someone with an Ohtani collection worth millions. He got about 35 legit phone calls from people offering like $8 to $10 million based off of that rumor to sell his collection to them within an hour. You know who I'm talking about. And of course, he's never going to sell it. But my God, Blue Jays fans, I'm sorry. That was tough. That was tough for you guys, but yeah.
And to make it worse, it turns out that the plane that was rumored to have Ohtani on it heading towards Toronto actually had Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank on it.
Exactly.
That was, and by the way, I love Kevin O'Leary. The guy's great.
Yeah. He's a
But
douchebag, but he's funny.
I know, but yeah, he was on that plane,
Yeah.
not Ohtani. There was
No.
not a single Japanese speaking person on that aircraft.
Well, Kevin might speak Japanese, but
I don't think so.
yeah, probably not.
All right. So first that comes out is that he signs with the Dodgers for $700 million.
Yeah.
Right. Huge contract. Makes Mike Trout's contract look poor.
Yeah.
And then slowly over the next couple of days, things come out.
Oh, yes.
So
brilliant things.
Brilliant things, but things that I don't even think should be allowed. Because it's complete and utter crap.
Okay,
so
I want to hear this.
Of the $70 million a year that he's being paid,
yes,
he chose to defer $68 million of that until after the end of the contract. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And look, you can live.
Okay.
He's making like 40, 50 million on endorsements. That's fine. He can live on the 2 million for the team. But it is a massive benefit for the team.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because it is a significantly lower amount that goes towards the luxury tax.
So,
line.
okay.
I want to call it for the purposes of this, I'm going to call it a salary cap, even though it's not a hard cap.
Okay.
But it lowers his average value on the salary cap. Now, the Dodgers are still going to be on the hook for $44 million of salary cap space.
Yes.
But it's not 70.
Right. Okay. All right. So what I don't all I see right there is an athlete, a very good agent, and an athlete that realizes, well, shit, I'm already worth a ton of money. I already have a ton of money, and I'm going to get this money regardless. So I'm going to be worth astronomical amounts of money forever. But I also want to win, and I understand that if I want to take this money, that we have to be able to sign other people. So I see a selfless athlete.
I'm not faulting Ohtani for this,
right?
Because I understand why he did it.
But what I'm saying is Major League Baseball has been so lax with there's no salary cap, there's no structure. They've made it to where teams can just spend whatever the hell they want. They might lose a draft pick, all these quote unquote punishment.
And as they should be able to. My issue with it is that by deferring the money, and I understand deferring the money, unfortunately for Ohtani, it's not like he's not making interest on that money, but he gets it, after the fact. And we'll talk about the relationship to the Bobby Bonilla day later, because it's not exactly apples to apples. So my issue is that regardless of when the money is paid out, they're paying him $70 million a year.
Yeah.
But because he deferred the money, it only counts as 44 or 45 million towards the salary cap. Why? Because when they're paying him out the deferred money after he retires, there's not a salary cap hit.
Well, during that
period of time,
Major League Baseball's played way too loose with letting people just spend money. Maybe this will make them pay attention and maybe start to put a little structure behind some shit and make it to where if you defer that money, you're on the hook for, let's say, 50% of it, something like that. That's Major League Baseball's fault for the fact that they've wanted to inflate their prices, both the PA and MLB wanting to inflate their prices like crazy for years. That's on them. All this agent's doing is saying, okay, we can help us win. This is legal. That's all.
Right. And I'm not faulting Ohtani. I'm not faulting his agent.
I know. I'm just saying that Major League Baseball needs to change it. If they have a problem with it, they need to change it.
And that's the thing. But don't have that cap. Have the luxury tax. Make them pay, exactly the structure that it is now. But it shouldn't be the case where it counts, they're paying him $70 million a year, regardless of when he actually receives the money.
Yeah.
He should count $70 million against the salary cap.
Trust me, I absolutely agree with that. But like I said, they're playing within the rules. They found some rules to bend, so there we go. But let's outside of the contract, as you know, that's
Right.
not really hobby related. Let's talk about this because I mentioned earlier. Still, I'm still sorry for you Blue Jays fans, but he's in LA. I mean, he's in LA, but I
Yep.
mean, he was in California before, but now he's with the Dodgers. If he had gone to Toronto compared to going to the Dodgers, the hobby impact that would have happened through this is astronomical. Him going to the
You
Dodgers
may
is
you may have actually
huge.
seen a negative impact
Yeah, yes,
within the hobby
you
on
would
his
have
stuff.
seen a negative impact.
Yes.
You would have. Even if he won a championship,
Yep.
even if he went to Toronto and won a championship, I think you would have seen a negative impact of his cards than if you see him go to the Dodgers. They are competitive
Yep.
and he plays well. And all these rumors of him not pitching and all this stuff, no one has a damn clue. Stop listening to all the ESPN and all this stuff talking about this, that, and the
There's
other.
only one. There is one thing with that they do know for sure.
What's
is that he
that?
will not pitch in 2024.
Yes, that's it.
That's a given. That's already
That's it.
known. And the
Right.
teams were, when they were prepping offers for him, the teams knew that.
Exactly. So trust me, he's perfectly fine not pitching for a year. Watch his batting stats. And
Yep.
he can play about 3 other positions. But no, him going to the Dodgers is huge for the baseball hobby.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been massively, massively catastrophic for him and the overall baseball market, as he is very big, if he had gone to Toronto, because the one major thing that a lot of people overlook is that Ohtani also has an entire continent basically that loves him. Well, guess what else? One of the top 2 teams in that continent is the Dodgers. So now you've got their icon playing for one of the teams outside of the Yankees that to them is iconic. It's a perfect fit.
The only non-major market team that he could have gone to that would not have had a negative impact on him in the hobby would have been Seattle.
Oh, yes.
And obviously because of the ties to Ichiro,
right?
For all those years, Seattle is widely followed in Japan. It's widely followed, in other places too. But the Blue Jays just don't have the fan base.
No, that's why I'm saying even with the championship, you would not have seen any type of bump whatsoever for the hobby. I think him in a Dodgers uniform, him playing for the Dodgers is one of the best outcomes that could have happened in these winter meetings for the hobby, because
second best.
Second best. Yeah, second. Okay, second. Yeah. I'll give you second.
Supposedly the Cubs were in the mix too, and that would have been nice. And again, talking about a team with a worldwide appeal. It would have been positive for the hobby. The Yankees would have been the other one that would have been positive for the hobby.
Oh, huge, because they're number 1 in Japan for obviously they're number 1 everywhere, but Dodgers are number 2. I looked it up. At least from stats that are available. So, he's going to that perfect position. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. So it's going to be fun for the hobby. It's going to be great for the hobby. There's been some big moves really in all of the winter meetings. I think another move that's going to be really good for the hobby is Kelenic going over to Atlanta.
Yeah.
If Kelenic can produce, that's a dude that a lot of people have a lot of stuff of that whose market tanked tremendously, being in Seattle and struggling through a lot of that stuff and some injuries, things like that.
Looking at Garrett, our buddy Garrett.
Yes, Garrett. Sorry, yeah.
He's the one. He's the one guy I think of.
Yeah.
He's
Garrett was in a group chat and he messages me that he was so pissed that Kelenic's gone. And I'm like, why? Your portfolio just went up like 85%, and they laughed.
Exactly.
He's like, oh yeah, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, you can be mad. You can be as mad at him as you want. Pretty soon that's going to turn to like 50 grand, and you're not going to care. So
yeah,
forget about it. But yeah, no, him go Ohtani to the Dodgers, massive, massive stuff. And yeah, it's a big one.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Me
At the
too.
same time, I always look forward to watching the Dodgers like make it far and then losing it, not quite winning everything. I'm okay with him going to the NLCS and then losing,
Yeah.
but that still is farther in the playoffs that he made it with Anaheim,
Right. Right.
which is never.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think anything is going to be helpful to him in the hobby with LA.
All right. Well, we will see if anything else comes out of the winter meetings, but the big, big pin to drop, of course, Ohtani going to the Dodgers. Sorry again, Blue Jays fans, but it's the best thing for the hobby, that's for sure. And I'd love to hear any reason as to why it's not. But Scott, I think that's probably a pretty good time to wrap up this week's show. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. Keep an eye out for Drew's Red Rocket special.
Yes. Hey, you're going to join me, right?
I'm going to join you. Oh, damn right. I'm not sitting that one out.
Okay, please do. All right, yes, because for those of you that don't know, we are going to be doing a very special Red Rocket grading interview, the very first exclusive. It is going to be a video episode. We're going to get to see all the inner workings of the company. I think they may even grade a card for us. We're going to be talking to the entire team. It's going to be incredible, and we cannot wait to bring you guys some absolutely incredible footage of the fastest growing.
You can't even say it with a straight dude. You can't even say it with a straight face.
I can't say it without laughing. I tried to make it serious, but it's going to be funny, guys. You can't wait to see this one.
Are they going to have like paper bags over their heads for this interview? Actually, it's such a dumb. Well, hold on. It's such a dumb idea. They'd probably put plastic bags over their heads for the.
You know what? You're probably right. I would agree with that 100%. But yes, guys, that is going to do it for this week's show. I'd like to thank our awesome sponsors. Before we go, we could not do the show without you guys. Of course, stand-up displays, game time cards, show your slab strong, Denver card shows, card ladder, and Zion cases. Guys, remember Zion cases, use the code the DH, just like my name right there. You get 10% off everything. And right now they're doing a massive sale on their site with tons of new stuff on the Mag Pros, everything. That 10% goes towards Mag Pros, cases, anything on the site. So make sure to hit up Zion Cases, one of our awesome sponsors as well. Of course, make sure to check out my article, Iconic Inserts, over on Hobby News Daily. We've got one up right now on the Iconic Triumvirate set. New edition coming out here in about a week or so. And of course, Hobby Hotline every single Saturday. I'll be on here in a couple of weeks and probably for the holiday episode as well. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure to also check out us on YouTube, as we're going to have a little extra bonus footage every single week. But until then, you guys know the deal. Keep ripping those packs, pulling those hits. We'll talk to you then. Peace. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got a lot of people here.
Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, we need
all out.
Talk interview.
It's gonna look like a weekend update setup. I am making this thing fucking phenomenal.
I might bust out the tuxedo for this one.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah,
I'll even dress up, and I don't dress up.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah. I mean, it's nice to say. But yeah, I'll do my hair at least or something. I'll get a haircut. No.
Oh yeah. Actually, I need to do that. I gotta get a little long.
Stuffy. You do. You do.
Yeah. All right. So a couple things that I wanted to pop into, Chris. When we were talking about Ohtani's contract, that's Bobby. So this is Bobby Bonilla Part 2. No. This is not Bobby Bonilla Part 2. So the genius in Bobby Bonilla's contract is he was only owed I think it was somewhere between $1 million and $5 million at the time. His he agreed to defer, sort of, but the way it was deferred, he wound up getting paid like $30 million over the course of that. over the course of that time instead of the $5 million or so that he was owed. Where Ohtani is not making anything in addition to the $68 million that he will be owed at the end of the contract. So not even interest, which is absolutely ridiculous. So that is the difference between the two.
This is breaking news to me. I did not know it. Topps just put out a Topps Chrome Disney 100, and it's sold out immediately, available in the UK only. Holy crap.
Interesting.
Wow.
They probably only had the license to do it in the UK.
They do. It's there's where a lot of the stuff is. They've got a quad auto of Mickey, Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto, which is fucking sick.
So wait.
I'm serious.
Who actually did the signing on that? No.
Probably the same person that signed the Rosarena and fucking who was it? Meadows Autos.
Oh, I was thinking it was the same person that signed the Santa Claus and the Elf from Topps.
Yeah, that's probably the same person that signed those autographs too. Whoever signed those definitive ones.
Yeah, it would be really cool if it was like somebody who actually did one of the voices at some point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be cool to do, but no, it's
100%. Absolutely.
Crazy.
But yeah, so it'll be so apparently that just came out. That's pretty cool. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had a lot of people tune in. I'm going to check out the Twitter numbers as well, as we were live on Twitter today. Ask Cody
on what?
For the people.
On
X. Well, I'm not going to call it X. I'm still twatting. So it's Twitter. All right. Until I'm done twatting, it's Twitter. So over on Twitter today, we'll see how that went. But make sure to, guys, please like, subscribe, everything to YouTube. We are going to have, especially around the holidays, we are going to have some special stuff up, some YouTube exclusives. And heading into 2024, we're really going to build out this platform a lot with a lot of new stuff. Exclusives, things like that. So go on, like, subscribe, if you could, share it and everything. I know Facebook restricts YouTube links, so maybe make it a bit.ly link or something like that, or just use our link tree. It's LGTP. It's really easy to find. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the show. Scott, it's always a pleasure, my man. I know you got to get back to selling crack in the alley.
Yes, I do. I'll be behind the building in about 15 minutes with the first supply. And keep an eye on those. Those are fun. I discovered those when I logged in this morning. And
yeah, me too.
We're gonna change those up every now and again.
Oh, I spoke to StreamYard too. This is cool news for everyone watching. I spoke with StreamYard, and they hope at the beginning to mid 2024 that we'll be able to stream on Instagram as well, which is going to be, Instagram is coming. So they're just waiting for them to open up the API to them. Instagram's finally started opening it up to a couple of other people. StreamYard's working on it soon. It fell. I told you.
1 hour, 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
There we go. 1 hour.
And you know what, dude? If that was from Show Your Slabs,
it would not have
fallen.
Yeah, if it had come from one of our sponsors, like this thing right here, look at that. I'm pushing all over it. It would not have fallen. All these cases are stuck. But when you don't have one and you put it up like this, then it ends up falling in 1 hour and 6 minutes. So that's why you use Show Your Slabs.
Corey hooked Drew up with something for that.
Seriously, there's some freaking advertising.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll be back next week with all new fun. Keep an eye out for additional content throughout the week as things break, and we're out.
Yeah, and now's that awkward time.